This prehistoric masterpiece could rewrite the history of ancient Greek art. Now, this is an ancient bull and seal that we have from ancient Greece, but the one that has been found, the agate that has been found, is so tiny. It's just 3.6 centimeters, tiny. That's 1.4 inches in length. It was encrusted in a layer of limestone. It didn't look like much at first, like a tiny pebble, but the seal that the agate had, and you know, agate is not a very strong mineral, like, for example, diamond, which is the hardest of 10, and next to that is sapphire, which is 9. Agate is very, very soft, and it didn't crack. And if you look at it, 1.5 inches in length, I guess it's about half in height. The detail on this means that they must have had very strong lenses to enlarge the area so that they could then engrave it with very, very fine detail. Now, it was found in a 3,500-year-old Bronze Age warrior's tomb, the warrior tomb in Pylos in Greece, in the Peloponnese. Kindly support my Patreon account since YouTube has again demonetized my YouTube channel. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below. If you see the video before this one having to do with the Antikythera device and the studies done by University College London with only a third of the pieces that were found, and these pieces also had very tiny engravings as to the various positions of each single planet in relation to the Earth and the Sun, and when the next time it would be farthest or closest. I mean, the detail that they had, why did they go into that detail of knowing every second of the year where each planet of our solar system was, unless they had space flight? But look at this thing. This is the warrior's tomb, had this agate seal. Obviously, it's 2 warriors fighting, battling it out. Very intricate detail. So this was the hidden gem of that excavation. After over a year of cleaning, researchers uncovered an intricately carved gem, the agate seal stone used for stamping an image onto a clay or a wax, like if you're writing a letter to somebody and when you put your seal on it, that it's you that's sending it. That researchers have hailed as one of the finest works of prehistoric art, Greek art, ever discovered. It could, they say, rewrite the history of ancient Greek art. It shows a warrior victoriously plunging his sword into a second foe, the first already defeated, and crumpled on the ground at their feet. It's been named the Pylos Combat Agate. So there's obviously the hero is the one plunging the sword into his foe over there, and there's another one lying dead at the feet. Now, the images is from Department of Classics, University of Cincinnati. The tomb itself was uncovered in 2015. It was a spectacular find. Inside was a remarkable intact Mycenaean skeleton named the Griffin Warrior, Griffin. The Griffin Warrior, after an artifact buried with him. It was an ivory plaque carved with the image of a griffin. The tomb was filled with treasure and at least 3,000 objects, including gold rings, silver cups, a sword with gold embroidery on the pommel, over 1,000 beads carved from precious stones, a suit of bronze armor, ivory combs, a gold necklace, and over 50 seal stones. These items revealed a rich and deep culture. Many of the grave goods were Minoan in origins, that means from Crete, indicating that the cultural exchange between the Minoans of Crete and the Mycenaeans of Peloponnese was stronger and more extensive than previously thought. They also helped uncover clues about the culture's religion, values, burial rites. For instance, no clay artifacts were found in the graves. indicating that only metal and other precious materials, such as ivory, were appropriate for high-status grave goods. But the Pilus combat agate, the seal, is a rare and transcendent thing, and the researcher said. What is fascinating is that the representation of the human body is at a level of detail and musculature that one does not find until the classical period of Greek art 1,000 years later, said Jack Davis of University of Cincinnati. It seems that the Minoans were producing art of the sort that no one ever imagined they were capable of producing. It shows that their ability and interest in representational art, particularly movement and human anatomy, is beyond what it was imagined to be, combined with the stylized features that itself is just extraordinary. Now, the skill and sophistication required to make such an intricate carving is unequaled by anything from the era, so detailed that photomicroscopy is needed to view them properly. Experts think it must have been engraved under a magnifying glass, obviously, even though so far archaeologists have not found any magnifying devices dating back to that time. Well, we know that they even had telescopes. Yes, they did have, the ancient Greeks did have telescopes. Now, it's also a mystery as to what the stone depicts, although it was likely a popular legend of the time. It would have been a valuable and prized possession, which certainly is representative of the Griffin warrior's role in Mycenaean society. This is what Shari Stalker, University of Cincinnati, said. She said, I think he would have certainly identified himself with the hero depicted on the seal. It's still unknown who exactly the Griffin warrior was, but if nothing else, he'll be remembered for the contribution his burial made to anthropology, archaeology, and art history. Work on the artifacts found in his tomb continues, and no doubt the researcher said there are more surprises ahead, but it's going to be tough to beat the importance of this small piece of stone. Stalker said this seal should be included in all forthcoming art history texts and will change the way that prehistoric art is viewed. And the full analysis of Pilus combat agate was published in the journal Hesperia, and this is on Science Alert. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support.